I think restoration looks different for everybody. And I think when we think of the term restoration, we assume that it means restoration of a marriage. In my case, that didn't happen. Early in our marriage, I identified some things that didn't seem right, and even intimacy was an issue. There was no interest on his part, and that was very confusing to me. I assumed I wasn't living up to what a good wife was supposed to look like. I thought I'd fix that, I'll fix his favorite meals, I'll keep the house cleaner, I'll, whatever. What do you want? What do you need? I'm gonna do that. I'm at your mercy here, whatever I can do to make this work and to have the kind of marriage that I believed my parents to have had. So at one point I was doing a deep clean in his office, which was kind of like most people's man cave, I expect. It was a pit. And in the process of cleaning that out, I was sitting on the floor in front of a basket of magazines and sorting through a lot of old things and pitching stuff, and I discovered some magazines that weren't Men's Health or Sports Illustrated. They were pornographic in nature. I was so surprised. I mean, never, ever would have dreamt to have found something like that. I loved him so much, I wanted to believe anything he said. So I asked him about it, and he had an explanation. So I bought into it, and I accepted his explanation. Later, I was looking for some paperwork in our office, and I opened up a filing drawer cabinet that was kind of stuck, and I pulled on it, and it was really heavy, and it was full of conversations and pictures that had been downloaded from the internet, an entire filing cabinet full. When I approached him about that, he had an explanation for that too. This time I was not as quick to accept it because there's just no way. There's just no way this made sense. I felt incredibly stupid. I mean, I fancied myself as an educated, pretty much having a lot good common sense. But I felt so incredibly stupid to not have seen things that I probably should have seen, or to have been so quick to believe things that maybe I shouldn't have believed so quickly. And yet I loved him, and I believed we were going to be together for the rest of our lives. This was the man God had put me with, and I was going to spend the rest of my marriage. I wish I could say I was gracious and kind and loving in how I approached my husband about the things that I found, but I wasn't. And yet you get to this point where you realize, I can't change him. I can't do anything to affect what he's going to choose to do or not do. That's a hard conclusion to come to. I can't even say I was angry at first. I felt an awful lot of shame. I was a long ways from home, and I didn't want anybody to know that my family was less than perfect. I felt a lot of guilt, because I thought, surely this is because I'm inadequate. I'm not attractive enough. I had, been intentional about losing a lot of weight, and when I found the magazines and things early on, I thought, I can do something about this. I can make myself look better. And there was nothing I could do. But restoration for me was restoration of my heart. For me, that meant getting to my lowest point. And it wasn't until everything in my entire life was out of control, when I no longer had a husband, when I didn't have that financial support, when I was a single mom, when I felt completely unlovable and rejected. And really the only one that I could wrap my head around having control was Jesus. That's what led to that restoration, that openness to healing.